Hello everyone, Lady De Winter here, and today I have birds. We are going to film for you our Thanksgiving celebration dinner. There's not going to be a lot of talking during the video, and I didn't cook it, so I can't take credit. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Transition time! Hey boys and girls, Dev here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did for my Thanksgiving dinner. I only really made 3 dishes because we had a friend come over and they brought quite a few of their own dishes. So without further ado, let me get started on what I made. First off, you see on the screen right now, I made these really delicious sweet potatoes. Let me go over exactly how I made these sweet potatoes, starting off with the ingredients. First, obviously, the sweet potatoes. You're going to want some brown sugar, at least 1 to 2 bags of marshmallows, mini or normal size, preferably mini, that's what I use, and butter, or margarine. I can't believe it's not butter, because we're fancy that way. Anyways, you want to start off by boiling the potatoes. Depending on how many you have, depends on the size of the pot, and it is going to take a while depending on the size. Smaller potatoes don't take too awful long, but those bigger ones, they're a lot thicker, they require a little bit more time. I gave these puppies at least 40 to 50 minutes boiling water before I started on anything. Once you boil them, it's preferred that you refrigerate them for a while, so that way they're a little bit easier to cut. Before anything though, you really want to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Let that sit for a while you're cutting up these potatoes. In this video here, I'm showing you exactly how I cut them. First off, I cut the ends off of both of the potatoes, kind of cut it in the middle and through the center so I can peel the skin off a little bit. Some potatoes you can just peel the skin off, no big deal whatsoever. We want to get all of that skin off, and then I cut it into coins. Now how I cut it is, I don't want them to be too thin, but I also don't want them to be too thick either. We're going to be layering them, so we want them to be a reasonable size. Some of them might end up being a little bit thicker than others, but that's just fine. You might also notice that there's a few that actually kind of crumble up a little bit when I cut them. It's because usually with the smaller ones, I do overcook them a little bit because I'm cooking them with much thicker potatoes. So it's okay if they crumble a little bit, that's perfectly fine. It's actually okay to undercook them just a little bit because you're going to be baking them anyway. Anyway, once you got the potatoes cut up, I usually layer them like this. A layer of potatoes, about 6 dabs of butter, some brown sugar on top of those potatoes, and then finally marshmallows. Lather, rinse, repeat until you run out of potatoes. Now you might notice that I didn't top these potatoes with any marshmallows yet. That's going to come a little bit later. For the time being, I'm just going to throw it all in the oven. Once it's all in, I set it for about 40 minutes uncovered. About 20 minutes in with these potatoes in particular, I took them out, covered them with marshmallows, and put foil around them. This is kind of a mistake on my part. I really should have waited for this. What happened was, when you cover them with foil, the marshmallows don't burn, they just melt. Which is fine for presentation, but I kinda should have waited for that. So I bring them back out in the next 5 minutes, unwrap the foil, and then bake them for another 5 minutes, and poof. You see the sweet potatoes that I had in the previous little clip that I recorded. So we're not too fond of turkey. We usually have a ham. This time I got a ham from the grocery store that I work at. It's called Preheat Selection. I think it was cherry wood or cherry glazed carving ham. It was really good. All I did for that was just follow the instructions given to me on the ham. Next up we have the broccoli and cheese. This one didn't really have much of a process because again, I just grabbed some Preheat Selection, hand-picked broccoli florets, 2 bags of that to be exact because I had more people coming over, and a thing of ragu cheese sauce. I was kind of nervous that I wouldn't have enough cheese sauce for all of them, but it actually turned out really well. The entire jar worked perfectly for the 2 bags of 16-ounce broccoli florets. And for that, all I did was I just steamed them in a pot. Once they were steamed, I drained them and then poured the cheese sauce over them, adding a little bit of my own cheddar cheese to it as well. That about sums up the stuff that I brought. These next few pictures you're going to see are actually items that my friend brought. His name is Vince. He's been a good friend of our family for a while, and he's really done a lot of good for us, so we kind of consider him part of the family. But as you can see, he did a little bit more than what I did. He actually brought a whole turkey. He brought actual like dressing with some cranberry sauce. He brought the green bean casserole. He also brought a couple of rolls and an apple pie and a pumpkin roll. He brought a little bit more than I did. He worked from like 4 in the morning to get all of this done by like 1 o'clock when they all showed up and we had our dinner. That's really about it, guys. As far as anything else, any like other little traditions we have, it's normally a tradition for us to watch the Macy's Day Parade, and shortly after that's done, we immediately watch Miracle on 34th Street. After that, we have our dinner, and just kind of communicate with the family for a while, and then once it's all said and done, dinner is officially over, we celebrate by watching Die Hard to get our Christmas season started. That's how we do things. If you guys want to comment on how you do things, please let us know. That's the whole thing of the comment section. Share how your Thanksgiving went, guys. On our end, it went really well, and I'm really happy for that. We're going to go ahead and end the video here, though. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.